One flight of stairs up and I run into problems. The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor one. It also has a painting on the wall again. Wide, of course, and plain, like only hallways can be. You know, this seems like... I wonder if this was like they'd taken pictures at an art gallery of some sort or something. I don't know. Because the kind of backgrounds seem kind of like it kind of has an art gallery look to it. Wide, of course, and yeah, I already read that. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs stating which class they belong to, but then there is a plethora of other unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them, or is it just somewhere down the hallway? I bet on the ladder and choose my direction at random. After I turn around the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not open now, though, just barely ajar so that I can see it's open and nothing else. It would make sense for the library door to be invitingly open, and while this one is not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least, it meant that someone is inside, and I can ask for directions no matter how embarrassing that is. I gingerly push on the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider to this school can't be shaken from my mind, so much so that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. I mean, can you imagine if we did open the door and then only for like a loud, intimidating voice to be like, "Get out!" It'd freak you out. You'd like jump and hit the ceiling, man. Well, I would. The door slowly creaks as if groaning from a deep sleep, though is much easier to open than I had anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head even further inside to gain sight of the room as fast as possible, the meek "hello" on my lips is quickly snatched away. Elegance! What's the name of this music? Concord. You know, it would be funny if this was actually titled Elegance as well. This is not as I was expecting. I mindlessly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figure taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing at the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently, having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me. Hello there, may I help you? Staring directly in front of herself, the movements of her lips seem to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's the soft, measured voice that reminds me she's a being separate from the room itself. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distinct. Hi, sorry for intruding, I was just kinda lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand. Care to take a seat? Unexpected, considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step towards another seat opposite her, the girl resting the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling. That and the slight cloudiness to her eyes means she must be at least partially blind like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office. I take it you're a new student to Yamato? Yeah, I just transferred in yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting, on which I hasten to match before realizing the futility of the action. I'm Lilly Sato, pleased to meet you. Sao Nakai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? Sure. Just like, sure. As much as it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along a shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hand often lightly touching the side of whichever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lilly herself seems to have workarounds for problems I'd never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the offer of preparing the drink. So, her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance. Which room were you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school. School library. Some classmates told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicating it being stirred. I'm aware of Miss Hakimichi as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no? That's right, in the science room with Muto. She gives a small giggle before setting down a teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand. He's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like him. Most do. You have an apple. Shut up about the apple freaking hair. As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. Nonetheless, the smell's quite nice. I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. Thanks, Sato. It tastes real nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face. Lilly, please, there's no need to be too formal. She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well. Yes, I should try and ask her about herself, as it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So, which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes. Correct, I'm in class 3-2, which is on the third floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi and is specifically for both blind and partially blind students. I see. Sorry. I feel like slapping myself on the flux bass, whatever. Looking at her face, though, she doesn't seem to in the least bit put off by it. Hi, my, there's no need to change your speech on my account. Sure, sorry, yes, I'm really showing my newness here. An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. Well, the same can't be said for everyone. Many have come to terms with their conditions. A category which would include her, it seems. All too ready to jump ship from the particular subject, into another. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Or maybe I pronounced it correctly for all I know. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Usually chatting right now in that kind of standard way. He's like, do you come here often? Thinking on it, this might be her version of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at. I come here fairly often during lunch break times. Well, I was about to say breaks, but it's the same thing. My duties as class representative don't leave enough time for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea. Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her mannerisms seem to be almost completely opposite. While Shizune is blunt and fiercely driven, Lilly seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of the school's clubs. What kind of clubs are there to join? The more popular ones are the track and field club, which uses the field near the school during lunch times, the baseball club and the book club in the room near the library. There are also numerous small ones too, those such as the art and music clubs. Small clubs? Music clubs? Really? No appreciation for music, is there? Honestly though, I can imagine, I've never actually, done music in school ever. I mean, I take guitar lessons these days, but it's private tutor. It's not like a school, is it? So, I don't know what they'd actually do. Just okay, so you wanted to play the guitar, or maybe the piano, for that chance on here's a trumpet or something. I mean, honestly, it'd be kind of neat to learn multiple instruments. One that I'd like to learn is the drums, because that's the one thing I'm lacking when it comes to music. I can play guitar, I can play piano with my keyboard and all that, and I can like change its effects, so like string ensemble, violin, cello, even have like kind of techno kind of feel to it on some of the settings. Trumpets, even saxophones, it's got all those settings on it. But when it comes to drums, percussion, I just haven't a clue. But I'm rambling. At a time when I'm just wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if the school shares the same rules as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club? It isn't, though it is encouraged. Ah, good, that's a relief. I've really let down my guard around this girl to let such a thing slip out. The fact seems to slightly amuse her. That face is like, oh man. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it as Lily does the same. As I look over to the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming into the room has a distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. The time's going quickly. Sorry? Right, she's lying. Of course she can't see the sun setting. It just looks like the sun's starting to set. Seems to come as a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of the time. Sorry, Sal, I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long. I quickly moved to allay her concern. No, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. Probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had a chance, but Lily seems likely to know in any case. True, it's open until 6:30 during weekdays. A quick glance at my watch confirms I have well enough time to get there. I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking with you, Lily. She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her. It was my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you to where the library is? I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it all right. Though he said that last time as well, unless my navigational skills fail me. Which they seem to have a habit of doing. It's alright, I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I could introduce you. This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. If you're sure, then that'd be great, thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that has been slipped in the handle of her bag on the floor. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Lily's looks much thinner and longer. His must be for support, whereas Lily's is for navigation. Together we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallway on the way to the library. Side by side, my pace carefully slow to match hers, we slowly walk through the hallway. Doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door to the warm-looking room apparently situated in the center of the floor, rather than at either wing. A second. There we go. Lying down now, because man, I was sitting legs crossed the whole damn recording. Actually, how long have I been recording? An hour and 25 minutes, I think. Nope, hour and 26 minutes now. God damn it. A second. Right. Ladies first. I was just like, I was lying down, like, I just like, finally, can relax my legs a bit. Just like, can you just check, just make sure the door's locked? They're like, man. So walk downstairs. At least I actually, get to move my legs there, because just like, ow, that leg, stretch a bit. But then it's just like, such a task when you lie back down after that. That's weird, isn't it? Such a task to lie down. What? She gives an appreciative smile at the gesture, taking the lead as we file in. Now, actually, screw it. Damn it, laptop charger fell out. I shall just sit legs crossed as usual, because I feel that when I lie down, I can't really read quite the same. I don't know. Feels like my voice kind of goes a bit odd. Maybe it's just me, but I feel more comfortable reading, sitting up, rather than lying down. So, because I have a desk, but the chair for said desk is occupied by the birdcage. so I can't use the desk even if I wanted to. So, yeah. With that, let's continue. She gives an appreciative smile at the gesture, taking the lead as we file in. To the left is the wooden library, counter with the library proper being the right. It easily 12 smiles, schools library with the distinct smell of old books, giving the place an almost all boiled air. I want to sing it all, though. There doesn't seem to be a lot of students here, considering the time. Isn't a big surprise. Everyone is probably either in school grounds or the dorms. What is this track called? I don't know how to pronounce that. Yuuko, are you here? She says it to the thin air since the librarian doesn't seem to be present, and of course Lily can't see this. You know, have you noticed when I voice act female characters, there tends to be like two different kinds. There's the calm one that I'm doing for Lily, where it's like, yes, calm and kind of collective. And then there's like the energetic when it's like, haha, yeah, you're totally right there, you know, it's like... Or there's like the one I do for Konatar in the Actuality Talks, that's kind of calm, but energetic as well. I know, it's just like I don't really have much variety when it comes to that. And you know the amazing thing is voice actors that can do like really good voice acting for both genders and actually make it believable. It's just like, damn. It's like the Simpson voice actors, all that variety. It's like, you're just telling me it's just like a few people voice acting all these different characters, some of which aren't actually the gender of the character? Serious? It's just quite amazing when you really look at it like that, isn't it? What's unexpected is that it draws a reaction. Something from under the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet wail. The origin, apparently the librarian, quickly crawls out and finds the bird and bounces up to extremely rigid attention. Hi Lily, how can I help you? Her voice is strained in a failing attempt to sound casual, and she's rubbing the back of her head. Good afternoon, what happened just now? I heard a strange sound. It's nothing, I just hit my head. See, I dropped an eraser under my desk, and while I was looking for it, a pencil dropped, and when I was looking for both of them, you came and surprised me. This voice totally does not suit the character at all. Are you alright? I'm sorry, I couldn't know. It's okay, sorry for making you worry. This is nothing, I've had worse happen to me. She's quick to reverse Lily's apologies, almost frantically trying to push aside the possibility that she could be in any way inconvenienced by bashing her head on the counter. That line, by bashing her head on the counter. Yes, worse things have happened. The girl fidgets with her fingers as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expression, and then she shuffles some papers around the counter for no reason. It's just like, shuffle, 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 no particular reason, just gives me something to do, see? A little shorter than Lily, replete with glasses, freckles, and a very troubled look. She seems to fit a library perfectly. Lily, did you get my message? Message? Oh, the 2 imported books that arrived. Right, they finally came. I can't believe it took so long, but I've missed her celebrations, partially for managing to change the topic. I'm sure she notices me from the corner of her eye and freezes on the spot when she does. Oh no, I'm sorry for not noticing you before. Did you need to check out a book or return one? I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. The way she can so quickly shift between moods is a little unsettling. He's with me, Yuuko. This is Asao, a new student. Asao, this is Yuuko, the school librarian. Pleased to meet you. Asao, pleased to meet you too, Asao. And you too, Bird. For a second, she visibly attempts to engrave the name on her mind so she won't forget. Yuuko often arranges to import foreign books in Braille for me. Would you like to tell Asao a little something about the library? Lily's innocent suggestion is met with an expression of abject terror. Please, Lily, I can't. I don't know what he could be interested in. This is too much responsibility. How is any responsibility at all? I don't get, but her objection is so sincere. I don't doubt for a second that she would rather disembowel herself on the spot. What the hell? Tell me where the light novels are. But so there are a lot of books in Braille here. I attempt to save the day by asking the first thing that pops into my head. It seems to work at least partially, as Yuuko seems to not exactly relax, but at least look slightly less tense. Well, I think about a third or a fourth of Yamaku's library is either in Braille or audio. Makes sense given all the blind students that be here. If it's only that, how come this library is so big in the first place? Well, we get a lot of new books regularly because the library is adequately endowed. That's probably why. They spend more on new books than on my salary, and then I have to organize and shelve all of them. It's so troublesome and they weigh so much. I wish I could quit this job. A very awkward silence follows the revelation of too much information. I'll go check the aisles then, if you don't mind. That's like, it's the, well, it is really, isn't it? It's like, you're doing your job and then you suddenly let it out. You're just like, oh man, this job, I don't like doing this job, man. It's probably best for all of us if she doesn't keep talking to me. Very well. Meanwhile, Yuuko, I would have those books if it's all right with you. My first impression was right. The library is surprisingly big. Ambling down the narrow aisles, I study the spines of the books in random order, occasionally sliding one out to read the blurb. The blurb? Taking it with me if it looks good. In a few moments, I have a respectable stack of books in my arms. I guess I'll never be stuck for choice in here. The normality of the library sinks in. Sure, there are large print and braille books scattered throughout, but it is what it is, a library. It's as if the calm mood from the room I had tea with Lilly in snuck with us in here, unless it was here to begin with. Something about that puts me at ease, just like before. It's a relaxing place, isn't it? I reach the end of the aisle. You know, it's kind of funny, actually. Like, I do these kind of courses. I do them at the college now, but I used to be, like, over at the library. And it's like the complete opposite of what you expect a library to be. It's like loud conversations, and then when school's out and like loads of kids there, loud, and like all the computers and everything, just like, this is a library, right? It's just like not quite the traditional library. It's just like loud chaos. While in this one it seems more stereotypical, just like, shh, we're reading. While the rest of the library has the odd student sitting at a desk either reading or stealthily sleeping, the back is pretty much deserted. Did I read the previous line? I have the worst memory ever. I reached down the aisle and found a collection of this set up. The study organism reading going a little further. I discovered a nice quiet corner at the back. I don't think I read that, or maybe I did. As I glance around, I see someone who I recognize sitting on one of several beanbags. It's the dark-haired girl from my class, the one who snuck out of the classroom earlier. Everyday fantasy in the shared library. She's reading the book, keeping it close to her face while... Well, that's not keeping it close to the face, but it's the CG that shows it like that, which makes her look like she's really into it. From the way she was acting today, I'd pegged her as more of a delinquent than a bookworm. Really? She didn't really... I don't know how he'd get that impression. Was it because she walked out of class? You know, during class? Because that doesn't really... It didn't seem like it to me. In fact, her mysterious disappearance from the class raises all sorts of whys in my head. Intrigue floats slowly but surely towards the surface, and before I know it, I'm walking towards a mysterious long-haired girl. I guess there's no harm in introducing myself as I would with anyone else. She's a classmate after all. Walking over to another beanbag, I take a seat and lay my books beside it. The girl starts looking scaredly up at me from underneath her fringe. This is the first time I've seen her this close. Underneath her long, dense bangs, I can see that part of her face, at least A third, if not half, is pretty badly scarred. My eyes are immediately drawn to the scars, subconsciously peeking past her hair until they meet her own eyes. For a second I am shocked and divert my eyes to the book in her hands before I realize that looking away probably only makes it worse. It takes too many seconds to collect myself and remember what I walked up to her for. I think we choose this choice. I don't think it really matters all that much, but I'll check the walkthrough anyway. Yep. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. It's okay. The girl certainly doesn't look like it's okay, but I let it slide. So, do you mind if I sit here? She seems to be very uncertain whether it's okay or not for me to sit, but finally she nods just a little. Okay. I take the seat next to her and she hides herself behind her book. Life of Pi. Never heard of it. I have. Never read it, but I've heard of it. So, sorry again for startling you, Miss Al. She looks up from her book, stalling a little before replying. I know. We are in the same class. Her speech is stilted and so quiet that it is barely audible even in a still library. My God, that sounds like me. Well, to you it's probably not. Just like, you? What? Quiet, barely audible voice? You are incredibly loud, man. But this is how I am, like, in, like, social situations. It's kind of like my voice kind of goes, and, like, volume goes down. It's kind of like... It's like words don't come out quite as fluently. It's like, kind of like, I don't know. It's like some words don't come out at all, and, like, I sometimes just kind of, like, nod instead of saying yes or stuff like that, or shake my head to say no instead of wording it because it feels awkward. That's just like the anxiety thing, you know? It just doesn't show in my videos because I'm just kind of just being random. So it's like, that's like what I mentioned with the collab thing. That would probably be why if I did something like that, my commentary style would probably change unless I'm actually used to the person enough to actually, you know, act like myself like this. But anyways, back to the scene. Somehow I think that my delinquent impression of her was wrong. Hanako, Hanako. I resist the urge to say that's a nice name just to have something to say, but really it's the only thing that I can think of. I feel like an idiot. Everyone here must be used to being different to each other, and here I am being all bald and fussed up about that kind of thing. Don't let me interrupt your reading. I'll just check these books if you don't mind. She nods a little and sighs a little sigh of relief. So I try to read the covers and the introductions of the books I picked up, and she buries her face in her book. Uncomfortable silence consumes us. My eyes still wander to her direction, and I sneak peeks at her flowing hair and the scars it's hiding. After a while I realize that she's doing the same, and only pretending to immerse in Life of Pi. Her gaze is not inquisitive at all, though. It darts around like a scared rabbit. When our gazes finally meet, the chain reaction is unstoppable. She stands up forcefully from the beanbag and takes a deep breath. I've got to do something! Without warning, Hanako takes off and runs towards the counter. Her hair-like takeoff catching me soft guard that I don't manage to go after her until she had a good head start. By the time I reach the counter, she is nowhere to be seen. Lilly and Yuuko are happily chatting away. Knowing that I won't be able to catch Hanako myself, I approach the girls. Hey, did you notice a girl run past here? Maybe. What did she look like? Long, dark hair, kinda shy. She had, well, some scars on her face. You wouldn't be talking about Hanako, would you? Yeah, that's her. I saw her reading and tried to talk to her, but I think I scared her off or something. Oh dear, Yuuko, would you excuse me? I'd better try and find her. Sure, I'll just hold on to these until you come back. What's going on? I'm sorry, but I'll have to explain it to you some other time. Right, I'll see you later then. Lilly hastily grabs her cane and hurries out of the library, leaving me alone with Yuuko. I don't think I'll ever get the hang of this place. Did I do something wrong? What did you do? Nothing. I was just looking for some books, and then she got this fit and ran off. Most offending thing I could think of was that I might have looked at her general direction a few times. Well, she is a very timid girl. You have to be very careful around her. She can be very jumpy, I think, and she's not accustomed to talking with other people. Isn't that a bit strange? I wonder, it's just how she is, I think. Yuuko doesn't sound all that convincing, then again, maybe this is just normal around here. Well, I have trouble talking with people. Am I strange, so? Yes I am. But, actually, I don't know. What defines strange exactly? I mean, I consider myself to be a pretty odd person. I just like, where some people just like would consider themselves normal, I just consider myself strange. I don't think normal even exists, though, honestly. Everyone has their own problems, or else they wouldn't be here. But how should I deal with these people? Force myself to act overly casually only makes me feel phony. Like I was supposed to be ignoring the elephant in the room. Yuuko fidgets, looking like she wants to say something to that, but resists it. I think it's an elephant only if you feel that way. I guess she doesn't have a good sense of self-restraint. It makes me smile and she blushes heavily. What? Did that sound stupid? Oh no, it sounded really wise. I guess you're right. It's more about me than anyone else. Neither of us has anything to add, so Yuuko fills the silence by shuffling some papers around. You know, just to have something to do. People who have papers on their desk really like doing that. Did you find any books? I should be closing soon. I mean, this library should be closing. But I have to do it. I hope that's not too inconvenient for you. Oh yeah, I want some books, but I left them over there because I'll just go get them. I fetched my stack of books from beside the beanbags where Hanako and I were sitting and returned to the counter. Well, you read a lot, don't you? I surprised myself with that too, honestly. At least when I could really think about it. I had a lot of free time earlier this year, so I just kind of started reading books to fill that time. Couldn't do much else. I see. But she doesn't say anything else and just checks out my books for me. I guess this is what they call tact. Holding the library books with one arm, I draw my pocket for the key to the door. A sudden sound from behind startles me, making me nearly drop the books I'm carrying or the key that I am almost managed to get into the lock. Who is it? I turn around to see who is talking to me. It's Kenji. He seems to be in a friendly mood, although the light slipping off his glasses in the dark gives him a sinister look. It's just me. This makes him pause and lick his lips nervously. Who is me? I don't know anyone called me. Are you some new guy again? His voice is suddenly strained and quick. Yes, but we met before, yesterday. I don't think so. I would remember someone who I met only yesterday. When was that? What day is it today? I try to ignore him. Is he joking or what? Prove that we met before. You live across the hall. You're Kenji. Kenji jumps back, his eyes filled with an uncomprehending fear. How do you know my name? Damn, this can only mean one or two things. Either we have met and you are telling the truth, and I just can't remember it, or you are a spy. He pauses. A psychic spy. His eyes dart around me, trying to peek into my room, although it's hard to believe he can see anything through those thick glasses. His mood swung from friendly to manic in less than a minute. I'm not psychic. How do I know that? I'm not a mind reader. Kenji points a finger in my face damningly. Unlike you! Stop that, man. We met yesterday. What's wrong with you? I live in this room. Lies! If you think you can pass as a child because I'm legally blind, you are sorely mistaken. You don't even look like him. I mean, the resemblance is real slim. Maybe at a distance, but who do you think you're kidding? I want to grab him by the shoulders and shake him. He's separated. I rub my eyes and let out a heavy sigh. Stay there. Kenji comes closer, one careful step at a time. I stay still, at least he assault me physically, although I doubt he could do much damage even if he did. Oh wait, I see it now. Damn, it really is you. Sighing again, and then once again for good measure, I step backwards just in case. What's up, man? You don't look too good. I think something wrong? I don't know. Just something stupid happened to me. Just two stupid things, actually, even if you discount this one. Can't get a proper perception on all the other people here, and I have no idea if it's because of me or because of them. I don't know why I'm telling this to Kenji. It's not like we've had any contact either. That's rough, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry about calling you a psychic spy and all, but you can never be too careful. It's the hard reality we live in. I'm slowly starting to think that Kenji isn't necessarily living in the same reality as the rest of us. See, this is how it is. This world, there is no justice, you see. Even when I lose, I win, because I don't lose the lesson. What does that even mean? It doesn't matter. He dismisses it flatly with a wave of his hand. So what happened? Why the long face? Do you have a long face? It's nothing. I just scared some girl off accidentally. Literally, too. She actually ran away from me. It was my fault, really. I think I'm not really used to all this yet. A girl, a cute one. Cute? That's a hard question. She had a nice... That sounds like a weird wording. Yeah, she had a nice body, really beautiful hair, but the face... I guess it could go either way. She totally wasn't cute, now. Yeah, cute, I guess. I knew it! There are a lot of cute girls here, strangely disproportionate amount. I believe this is one of the dark secrets of this school. I tried to warn you, man, but did you listen? I don't remember any such warning. Dark secrets? Yes, dark secrets, extremely dark, like a black hole. Have you noticed that the number of girls in the school is slightly but significantly higher than the number of boys? It's like 60-40. You know, is this character deliberately this way to kind of like be a kind of joke about like how in visual novels there's a distinct lack of male characters? Just like, what the hell, man, there's loads of girls at the school, but we never see any of the guys. He turns his head to the left and stares off into the distance at nothing. Why is he like this? I mean, to the untrained eye, it doesn't appear to be that bad. But that is a full 20%. One would think that a school with such a huge pool of women would be a man's dream, but no! What I'm about to tell you could blow your mind. Are you ready? I don't know where this is going, but I think I won't be missing much by cutting out now. Come on, man! No, I'm not ready. His mind, his body is not ready for this. You know, I wonder if it's to do with his ending, because his ending apparently is a bad ending for Act 1 or something like that, but I've never actually seen it. I'm not 100% sure what to expect from it, but we'll get to that one eventually. But we're going with Emi's route, as I mentioned, who is, like, along with Rin, the only two main characters we haven't actually seen yet. Only get as far as turning the doorknob before Kenji starts talking again, showing that he doesn't really care if my mind is blown or not. I believe that the school is a battleground, the site of a feminist infiltration. I remember, like, when I was googling images for the wheel thing I did in the first part where we choose the routes, I remember when I googled Kenji, just like had an image of him and saying something about damn feminists. This disparity in the number of men to women is a clear sign of how far they have come. In case this Cold War turns hot, they will have superiority in numbers. Just another skirmish in the external war against the forces of the feminists. They're everywhere. In Japan, women outnumber men. It's not a 60-40 split, but it's only a matter of time, man. Even in America, women are the majority by a hair. They're building up their numbers. In the past, the build-up of military has always been the clearest sign of imminent war. Japan is just the first step. Our economy is badass, and the country itself is small and isolated, yet a huge part of the Pacific in terms of political value. The perfect target. You're so cunning, as expected of women. Soon the day will come when... Kenji's voice trails off ominously. That's why you can't trust them. They will string you along and then they will kill you, just as they killed me. You will end up just like me. What? Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. I can't stop myself from blurting it out. Hey, what the hell does that mean? You said it, not me. It's the best I can think of. So, you're not supposed to say something like that. Damn, so rude. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Vast feminist conspiracy. Stop it, stop. I lost you way back there somewhere. Somewhere around feminist infiltration. You want to follow? It's cool. I have some graphs and stuff in my room and puppets. You like puppets? No puppets. You don't like puppets? Okay, graphs are still cool though, right? He speaks energetically, responding almost before I'm done talking, putting his hands in an animated way as he continues to rant on. This is too strange. I had him pegged as relatively normal, but it's clear that I was wrong. Something on your mind, dude? Just thinking about what it's like to be the last sane man in an insane world. Kenji frowns, looking deeply upset. You mean that's you? That can't be, because I'm the last sane man in an insane world. That is my dream. You can't steal a man's dream. What the hell? It can't be two last sane men. It would invalidate that whole last part. And that part is kind of important. There can only be one, like in that foreign movie where there could only be one, and in the end there's only one dude left, because that was the point. I don't think I've never actually seen it, but it's Highlander that is referencing there, I think. Where it's like, there can be only one! I think it's that one, or maybe it's a different movie. I don't know, I'm crap with, movies. As I've mentioned before, I don't tend to watch a lot of movies. I have never seen anyone talk so heatedly and so defensively about absolutely nothing before. Anyway, if you wait here, I can get my graphs. I also have a list of the other dark and complex conspiracies that this school holds, as tangled as... Quick, finish my analogy for me, but be a pal! I'm going to go to bed now, it's extremely late. That doesn't sound like an analogy, but whatever. I like you seem like a cool dude. Most people don't understand what I'm talking about when I try to explain the vast feminist conspiracy to them. Denial is a terrible thing. Later. He claps me on the back and then vanishes into his room so quickly and quietly it's like he didn't even open the door but instead walked right through it like a ghost. I don't know if I can fully digest what just happened, so I give up and just go to my room, kicking off my shoes before falling face first into bed. Takes me some time to relax and get up so I can get started on homework. It's because the sheets are cool and comforting against my cheeks and it feels good just lying there with my eyes closed. The school is like some kind of bizarre and surreal island. It's isolated on top of a mountain and each person is stranger than the last. I just can't seem to fit in. What irony, one would think that fitting in a place that's made for people who are unfit for anywhere else would be easy. Maybe I'm trying too hard. Although I say that, it doesn't help take the edge off and the words are left echoing off my empty walls. I guess it's not as bad as I expected though. This place really is more of school and less hospital pretending it's a school than I thought it would be. Something else, the scenery is beautiful. Open one eye, seeing the school books and bottles of pills arranged side by side on my desktop. Maybe this place is too much like a normal school after all. Do-do-do, do-do-do.